Cool.
Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and welcome to Wasteland Talks, my weekly talk show where I talk about whatever the hell I want. And this week is another edition of my playlist, and joining me is my friend Matt Wiliams, who's part of the movie club, as you can see him on our videos. And Matt, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, like always, dude.
So, Matt and I have been friends for 13 and a half years at this point. We certainly know a bit about each other's taste in music. And for this particular episode, we're going to be looking at Matt's playlist for hip-hop music. So we got 10 songs to share with all of you. Varying degrees of depressed.
Yeah.
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 But we'll get started with our first one, which is We Cry Together by Kendrick Lamar. So Matt, why is this on your playlist?
Yeah. So I was thinking about, I had to have, especially because of what's happening in rap right now with this whole, like, who are like the top three main artists of rap, the Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole thing, all that conversation. I really wanted to have Kendrick be the first person that we talk about. Because aside from Run the Jewels, he is my number one, kind of like, not even just hip-hop and rap artist, but just musical, just genius, like, in general. Like, I've been listening to him ever since like, in college, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic, Good Kid, Mad City. But I really wanted to show you this song in particular, even though I love all of his stuff. Fantastic music video, in my opinion. B, I like the idea of two people having a conversation back and forth. And then C, the actual lyrics themselves. I just really think that they are both funny and interesting and, like, odd and maybe also, like, a little bit depressing. That is not the most depressing thing on our list, but still, yeah.
Certainly not.
Yeah. But I really like that song, We Cry Together. It's great.
It's this is the first time that I listened to any of these songs except for probably the one Tupac song that we're going to be talking about.
Nice.
But what was interesting about this, if you've ever been in a toxic relationship and had an argument, this is very relatable. They go hard at each other, and it's an interesting, like, tango of insults and very visceral, acidic, biting comments at each other, and it makes for a very interesting, combative relationship that goes on in the song. And I think they both do a great job. It also really captures the discomfort of having being in a toxic relationship, and also the pitfalls of how people keep getting caught in them. You know, because by the end, what do they wind up doing? Make-up sex. Because that's how all these arguments end, right? And it was very interesting watching this music video. Was it Taylor Page?
Yeah.
The actress who was in the film Zola, going back and forth with Kendrick Lamar. It was a very interesting and engaging music video, and also a very visceral song to begin with. So definitely was a big way to, because we listened to these songs together before we recorded this video. Thought that would be a fun way of doing this.
Also, I really like the one take aspect too.
Yes.
It kept, like, following from room to room, so I was like, I definitely had to show Shane that one. Yeah.
Approved!
Yeah.
Next up, we have 1985 by J. Cole. So, Matt, why is this on your playlist?
Okay. So, J. Cole is a very good rapper. He's been rapping for a lot of years. I wanted to first play a song from a really old mixtape called Cousins, but then I was like, no, 1985 is really cool. Even though that song is also really awesome, talking about, like, a lot of different things. This song is talking about rap, the state of rap, and I think, and also just people having conversations, especially, like, people our age, right? Because you can see ourselves as kind of, like, in the middle of maybe being connected to a lot of, like, a younger generation type music, and then also being, like, connected to, like, classic stuff. I don't think that you and I are kind of, like, I don't know, so angrily possessive over a certain decade that we kind of, like, reject anything else. So I think we're pretty eclectic, not just kind of, like, in genre, but also in, like, time period. But it's kind of interesting to think about making sure that even though you are newer in the industry, you are still kind of making kind of like specifically like intentionally and consistently making content that is both substantive and also like real, because if you are riding trends, or if you're just intentionally putting out nonsense consistently, then yeah, then you're going to be like a flavor of the week, and then you are going to be done. And there's so many people in many genres of music that you can point to where it's kind of like, oh yeah, whatever happened to that person? That person only had like one good album or one good song even. So I thought that was really cool too. And also he says some pretty interesting cultural stuff too towards the end too that I really liked. But yeah, how do you feel?
Yeah, this song obviously was geared towards just being part of the music industry and looking upon what it's like to like sell out what you want out of being a part of the music industry, because like most people in general would probably say that they were in it for the music, at least to start. Not everybody winds up staying that way. And I think this song was a really interesting perspective in terms of looking at what it's like being part of the rap genre at this point in time. And because when did this song come out?
This song came out pretty recently, honestly. Okay. Yeah.
So like this idea that, you know, this is how you should be doing it, but like inevitably a lot of people take it this way. It's all about the money. It's all about, and just like, I think this was a song where it's like, I was going to buy my mom a house, didn't buy the house, but bought myself a Benz. Like, yeah, that aspect of like, that thought of like, yeah, sure, you had some good intentions going in, but now you're just treating yourself, and kind of left behind the more altruistic reasons why you wanted to make this money in the first place. And I thought that was very relevant because, you know, that's the struggle of like, what do you do when you get money? A lot of us can't relate to the moment of getting a lot of money like that, but we can definitely relate to how we feel about going in, because we all think about like, what if I had all this money, what would I do with it? And this is kind of that corruption of that kind of dream. So I thought it was an interesting song.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess for anyone that's watching, there's, I don't want to say like a response. I guess sort of basically, yeah, like a response to this particular song by like a younger rapper named Cordae, and that was really cool because basically, if J. Cole was taking the stance of kind of like teaching the youth, Cordae says a lot about, hey, so yeah, like I am a new rapper, I am just like a young person in general, but maybe you older head people, maybe you guys aren't the greatest role models. Maybe we should kind of update the blueprint that you guys are kind of like holding on to so tightly. So that's also really cool too. But yeah, great song.
Every generation feels a certain way about the younger generation. Mm-hmm. Next up we have Uncommon Valor by Jedi Mind Trick. This was the first one that was like, BAM!
Yeah, so not the happiest song, but definitely... Okay, so I like this song for a lot of reasons. One, I like it just as a rap fan. I think that the writing and the flows and like to be able to say all those words and like be able to, like, I think they call it breath work, it doesn't matter. To be able to rap in that way is so interesting and intriguing. Just, I don't know, so that's like A, really awesome. B, I think the feature on the song versus the actual kind of like the second guy, he's even better than like the first person. So I think that's kind of interesting anytime that happens in rap. And then like the content itself, yeah, that's super rough. Vietnam War, not any jokes to be had in this song or in real life. And this one pulls no punches back based on the imagery and the story that it tells of one person who very, very much does not want to be there versus someone who very, very much wants to be there, until that also kind of like
the Hurt Locker person.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, that's an interesting thought. Yeah, definitely, that's a cool parallel.
Yeah, this song hit hard. Obviously, it has some very heavy subject matter. Both rappers in the song killed it. Like, they delivered their lines in a really impactful and heavy way. And there's certain lines of lyrics here that it's like one of them was like, for every one soldier dead, there's 6 civilians dead, and it's just like, not great. And that first rapper is talking about like how he never wanted this. He didn't want to go away to go kill innocent people. And, questioning the legitimacy of like why we went to Vietnam in the first place. And then the second rapper in the song portraying this character that went away to Vietnam and felt alive and felt important and felt like he had more power than he had ever had in his life. And that's really sad that it takes going away to, killing people to have any kind of sense of like you have power in your own life. And that's the sick truth of some people that go away to war and connect with that power and then don't want to give it up. So this song does not, like you said, pull punches in terms of how it portrays war and soldiers who go into war and how, it's ignorant and naive to say that all of our soldiers are going there for honorable reasons. There's certain people that do like it, like the experience, like the power, and to feel like they're important. And this song really expresses that in a really poignant way.
Also, it expresses kind of like how maybe like as a soldier you are also like it's sort of like a different kind of victim of like the government or whatever. Because of what he says, like towards the end about like the Agent Orange and stuff like that.
Yes, came back and
messed up his children.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, because like you can get out of the war, but the war never leaves you. Sometimes mentally, sometimes physically, and obviously Vietnam with all the chemical warfare came back with people physically, and caused all kinds of horrible diseases and killed a lot of our soldiers years after being there. So, definitely a very powerful one. Next up, we have Mindful Solutionism by Aesop Rock.
Okay, all right. So every single song, all these songs, I don't always have on like my daily rotation, but I definitely have this one on it. I wanted to come up with different tiny little categories. Like this is maybe like more of like a political one. This is more like inspirational. This one is more like on the underground side. This one is more kind of like pop rap or whatever. This guy, he definitely fits in the abstract and odd rapper thing. He reminds me of remember Dell? Remember the first time that you and I did this music thing, the Dell the Funky Homo Sapien. But like there's a crazy the crazy kind of like throwing as many words from like the source as possible inside of a verse. The whole song is great. The whole song is basically about technology going from one state to the next, and how like progress is actually getting us closer to destruction. It's really like heady like ideas.
I can relate.
Yeah. Not a fan of robots. Not a fan of the what is it, robophobia? Not a fan of the
Yes, I'm a robophobe, and on the thematic level, that one definitely hit for me. This was the song where the music really stood out to me the most, probably. And I really loved the music that was laid down behind the rap lyrics. And obviously, like I mentioned, like being a robophobe, this song hit on a level of like really taking that look at technology and advancement and how it's advanced through time and how powerful it can be. And this one was probably the most different out of all the songs that we listened to, and I appreciate that about it a lot. And there's maybe 3 of these that I'm probably going to add to like songs that I'm going to listen to, and this is one of them.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. Which is really interesting. I feel like his way of rapping isn't very, shall we say, accessible. Like you wouldn't hear that on like a top 40 hit kind of radio kind of thing.
It's funny because I listen to progressive rock music, and my favorite band's Rush. So this is right up my alley.
Nice. But yeah.
Because that's the cool thing about music is, sure, you can listen to music that speaks to you on a deep way. It can move you. Or you could appreciate for just the extreme technical prowess of what you can do with music. And I feel like this is that kind of song. And that, like, art for me, that's the kind of art that speaks to me a lot. Is just like how impressive the art can be that you can create, and this definitely was there.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely wanted to come up with like a list of songs, and obviously there are so many songs that I could have chosen, but I really wanted to come up with a list of like 10 meaningful songs to me that kind of like defy the idea of like rap being only one thing, which is like party music, and that's really, or a specific, it only can talk about one particular thing, and like, yeah,
The machines.
It's not that. It's not that.
Next up, we have No Way by OnCue.
Okay. So I could have picked. So I don't know how to put it. I really like this guy because he's been making music for years and years and years and years, and some of his music videos are awesome. Mostly, I just wanted to, if I could talk to anyone at any time about this guy, just to get the word out. Like, I should probably make it Twitter. I should probably make social media so I can also talk about it too instead of just one at a time. But I think that he's really cool because he's just fun. He also talk about deep stuff too. He's just very fun, and this song is like light, and it's him just bragging about how awesome he is. But the music video, though, is it's on another level. How do you feel the music video?
So, to be honest, the song didn't really stick out to me that much, but this music video of him recreating all the most famous memes from the internet was hilarious.
Yes.
So, like, they even had, like, the ginger braces kid, in, like, his school picture. Like, he reenacted all, I'm like, God, I wish I didn't recognize every single one of these goddamn memes that are in this music video, but I did. And at least, you know, some songs can be elevated by the music video that they go along with. And, you know, music videos is a whole other level of art, just away from just the songs. You know, you have people like Martin Scorsese, who's directed music videos.
Michael Jackson's bad.
Yeah, and Fincher, who started off making music videos. Spike Jonze. So, like, a music video can go a long way, and this music video was hilarious. So,
yeah, it's great. It's great. On the deeper side, there's a song called "Cry Wolf." On the maybe more dance side, there's a song called "Ultraviolet." But this song, yeah, this song is just is pure good rap, popcorn rap. Yeah.
There you go. Next up, we have He's a Mental Giant by Tech Nine.
Ah, okay. So, someone in college recommended me Tech Nine because he was like, "Oh, so you listen to rap?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Well, I listen to some rap, but I'm really into kind of, it's like angry rock music, and this is kind of like a mixture of both." And I'm like, "I don't know anything about angry rock music, but I'll listen to your guy Tech Nine." This song is amazing. This song was my like anytime I was like late for something or I had to like wake up in the morning, this was like my alarm. It's so much energy, and the vibe again with like how he raps is just so interesting because there's like different flows that he has with the words that he chooses and how fast he raps, and that's like a really big Tech Nine thing, is that he can rap like Eminem or just like anyone else.
Like a machine gun.
It's great. It's great. What do you think of him?
So besides the fact that like the music video is this crazy, like otherworldly, like D&D looking crazy thing with a strip club in it, I was really impressed by his ability to rap at the speed that he did. He's the one that on like the 10 songs like really stood out in that way. The aggression and the impact that he rapped with definitely stood out. So like I understand like this is like the hard rock of rap music. And I really enjoyed the music that went along with it too, and like you basically had like almost Gregorian chants going on in the background, like the deep like like going along with it, and because a lot of this, especially the first couple of songs that we listened to, it's mostly just a singular beat with the lyrics going across it. Like this had layers and texture and depth to the music in the background, which I appreciated. And it definitely caught that, like, I do love hard rock and, like, classic metal music and stuff like that. And it kind of scratched that itch a bit for me. And Also, those genres happen to have a very interesting perspective with a lot of fantastical elements as well, which I think was also interesting that his music video did too. So
You would definitely like him because sometimes he paints his face just in like random, like not insane clown posse, but it's a random like scary looking.
Matt, why didn't you pick any ICP?
Maybe that'll be on the next list. Maybe I'll give them a listen. Then I'll
Magnets. How do they work?
what's the drink? Foggio or something like
God.
that? Is this soda thing?
But no, so this is the second of the 3 songs that I would definitely listen to
Nice.
on a regular basis. Next up, God, we have Dance with the Devil by Immortal Technique.
Okay, alright. So, this song is sad.
Sad's an understatement, Matt. This song's effed up.
Yeah. Yeah. This song, so I once saw a list of songs that people should listen to when they want to get into like hip hop or whatever like that. And also, and maybe I wonder what would happen if that list were to come out like more so, because this song was in maybe like the early 2000s, I think it came out, and I thought when I was first listening to it, I loved what he was saying. I loved the story that he was painting, even though it was from the start, from the very beginning, it is a very bleak and like the really minimal like the piano thing. So that was interesting. And it gets sadder and sadder and darker, and then there's
Song goes on a death spiral.
Yeah, there's like a twist. I won't spoil, but it is Trigger Warning City, and it is super wild, and it's really sad. But that last part when he talks about when he says like I was there and I know what happened, and the devil follows you everywhere that you go.
That was heavy.
Yeah,
and darkly poetic.
Yeah.
And this song is very minimalist in its presentation. It's 7 minutes, but God, the storytelling is top notch. Because, like, you have to have great storytelling to basically just rap or sing at somebody without a whole lot going on behind it for 7 minutes straight. And the story that they tell in this is, like, the most extreme version of the horrors of growing up a black man in inner cities and in like depreciated areas, depressed areas, and how far all these unfortunate traps and pitfalls that you can fall through and what horrible things you can get involved in and how bleak they can get and extremely unfortunate twists of fate that can happen as a result of it. Because, God, the twist of this is one of the most grotesque, horrible twists of fates that you're going to hear in any song ever. Like, I just, like...
Yeah, how did you feel when
it was just one of those moments where it's like, when you find out what was really going on the whole time, you just, like, get really cold. And just shocked. And, God, this song went there. It certainly did. So, this is not for the faint of heart. But if you really want something that's going to hit you very poignantly and with reckless abandon in terms of how heavy it wants to hit you with its message, this goes there. So
yeah, I like rap for a lot of reasons. For like the entertainment value, I like rap for a lot of reasons. But also, I think that it, and other genres too, obviously. But for rap, when I listen to a song that taps into being very, very in your face with its social consciousness, wokeness. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I'm not kidding. But I think that being that real about what it's like to be, or just anyone, honestly, anyone in like desperate situations, and you find yourself with a series of forks in the roads that you have to choose between, and if you decide to go on one path, I don't know, it's really it's disturbing to think about, because also the story itself is disturbing, but then when you really think about it, maybe not every aspect it could be something that a lot of people go through, but there are very much a lot of other parts of the story. Maybe like toward like maybe like the first half of the song, there could be very very like uncomfortably relatable to a lot of people.
This is a cautionary tale of how far life can take you when you're put into a bad place, and how dark a place it could go, and the lengths that you'll go to get out of that dark place. And this sure does not pull any punches with it.
Yeah. The rest of the songs are... I remember I was listening to the song and I was like, okay, I have to have the rest of the songs.
Well, Keep Your Head Up by Tupac is our next one.
So, yeah. This one... So again, I was trying to think of, okay, so this song is important to the genre of rap, or this one is just like, is like really interesting. This one I wanted to have as the, as being inspirational. This song is so awesome. It's so pro-black. It's so pro-women. It's so pro kind of like just continuing just to live your life and not give up. That's such like that's like a stark contrast to, again, if people have this idea in their head that rap is only one thing. If it is, or I don't know, like it's beautiful, and it also touches on like pretty like real and like sad stuff too. Like I think like the line that kind of like resonated with you when he said it was they have money for war but can't feed the poor. Like
still true.
Yeah, like that. I don't know. It's just really interesting.
Like this song's from the 90s. When is it? 2024. Still the same thing. And no, this is the one song I have heard before. I do listen to Tupac. I don't listen to a ton of rap, but I listen to a lot more now than I used to. And
I wanted to put Doja on here so bad. Well, in the next time we do a video, I'll put her on.
Well, because I do listen. Well, it's interesting because most of the rap music that I listen to are actually women rappers. So I listen to Doja Cat, I listen to Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, and stuff like that. But I do love Tupac, and this song is very inspirational. It is an important song in the context of the unfortunate, like reinforcing those, bringing back up those pitfalls of the unfortunate societal effects on black experience of like a lot of young black men wind up not having father figures. And of course it's turned into horrible racist jokes for a lot of people, but it comes from a place of like, that's an unfortunate thing that does happen. And this song is so great about supporting single mothers and reinforcing raising strong, respectful, and good young men that can break that mold. And that this song feels so poignant in that way. And it has one of the best samples. I loved how they used Ooh Child. And this was so good. Tupac was so charismatic and could sell anything in a song. And this song delivers. And I love in the music video, just you have those little moments with him and like this young kid and stuff like that. And this hit on a personal level because, my father left when I was not even 2 years old. And I do have much more of a relationship with him now, but like there was a long time where like I wondered why my dad wasn't around and why he didn't try harder and why he didn't make a bigger effort. And this song really hit a chord there. So this definitely hit me on the most personal level out of all the songs we listened to.
I really like that you share that, because I feel like another thing that I feel like sometimes people kind of get trapped in is that like certain genres or just like certain music should only be listened to and enjoyed by or resonated with by certain people. But rap, just like anything else, can touch everyone. Also, now in the year 2024, like genre is like a very interesting thing because there's a lot more like blending or whatever. That's like a different conversation. But yeah, so because even so, like the stuff about like the fatherhood or feeling like you have like an absence in your life or being in kind of like a rough financial situation. Again, it's not only meant for like for black people or for men or for women. It's meant for like everyone, and like you should consume it in the way that it kind of how it touches you basically, which is what art is. Yeah.
Well, and I was raised by a strong single mother, and this song really resonates with me. And if you're the kind of person that thinks that only non-white people have deadbeat dads that run out and stuff like that, then you are part of the problem. So obviously music can connect on a human level. And this tells a story that a lot of people can relate to. Next up we have 1997 by XV.
XV.
Or 15, if this intends to be Roman numerals.
Yeah. The reason why he did that is, I think, if I remember correctly, that's when he started rapping. So he decided to call himself XV. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. But
AKA the song Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah. So my favorite Smashing Pumpkins song ever, and someone else in college told me, "Hey, so you like Smashing Pumpkins?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, well, listen to this guy, XV, specifically this song, which is like 1979, just like
Yeah.
It's great. The imagery is someone who is like 11 or 12, thinking about turning eventually 13 and what that means, and wanting to kind of like stay in summer forever, which is kind of
That's why they use the Sandlot.
exactly, which use like basically the entire music video uses the Sandlot as kind of just like another layer of feeling nostalgic for something that you in the moment you never wanted to end, or maybe as an adult you didn't really, you want to go back to it every once in a while. You can do that sort of, I suppose, but I think that it's a really fun song. It's also deceptively kind of like it dances with like light stuff and dark stuff, even in the first verse, and him thinking about like, hey, so this is the first time I ever thought about death, because one of my friends who was also my age died of a brain tumor. It paints like a really like interesting, and to me pretty realistic and relatable picture of what like childhood feels like, and which isn't always like sunshine and rainbows, and it shouldn't, because you're supposed to experience a multitude of things. You can be ready for the next step, which is adulthood eventually. But yeah, good song in my opinion. I like it a lot.
I feel like the experience of listening and watching this music video was too much, because like I was distracted by the Sandlot, I was distracted by the Smashing Pumpkins of it all, and then really didn't connect with the rap going on, especially if like from the sound mixing too, because like the sampled music really overshadowed like the rapping going on, at least for me, because like in the previous song when they sampled Ooh Child, it was more like in the background. And like this felt like the Smashing Pumpkins was just like in the forefront the whole entire time. And to be honest, it just made me want to listen to that song and also watch Clerks.
Also a great 90s thing. I wonder though, because it was interesting that you noticed immediately that MySpace thing that popped up in the beginning.
Yeah.
So definitely like the music video. Like I wonder what would happen if you were to just listen to it just audio only.
I should have just pulled up the lyrics, to be honest.
Yeah. I wonder if like the music video version, especially because like I guess how people upload stuff to YouTube, maybe like the sound quality got like screwed up in some way. I don't know.
I do not know whoever made that video. It was a lot. A lot of processing. Also, I love the Sandlot. And our last one is Nice for What by Drake.
Yeah, I almost did Nonstop, but I wanted to continue on like the kind of like on a different kind of vibe. Because Nonstop is also pretty like angry in like a fun kind of poppy way, but this is like very much popular rap.
Yeah.
They say that rap has replaced a lot of other genres in terms of being kind of like on the top of like popularity in terms of what people like mostly listen to, which is pretty interesting. I think Drake honestly is a really good rapper. I think that it comes off for some people disingenuous when he kind of turns on like that gangster persona, but also he's done that in the past and he's made also like pretty cool records. But I think that this song, the lyrics, the music video, the sample, I think it's a Lauryn Hill sample, I think. Like everything comes together in like a really awesome way, and it's just like fun. Like you can imagine yourself dancing at a party. Like also because like as a rap fan, I'm not ashamed of party music, being a part of rap. That's cool. I very much was doing the Soldier Boy dance when everyone else was. You know what I mean? Like it's fine to like have like just like nonsensical, like non-consequential music.
I'm all about that. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god! But also like it can be like multiple things too. Just make sure that you don't like think of a whole genre of music, which people forget the phrase subgenres. Every piece of music has its own like subcategories, but as long as you don't think that all of
we
rap
just
is
love
Drake,
to put things in boxes.
Yeah, and
make it nice and simple for ourselves,
which is crappy.
No, this definitely was the most mainstream. Just like this felt like a popular rap song. Mm-hmm. Hard rapper, the guy from Degrassi. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing: I don't know that much about most rappers today, and the only thing I know about Drake is from pop culture, and Drake gets crapped on a lot. And also, was it Hotline Bling?
Oh.
That whole thing.
The memes GIFs out of that.
And also crazy. Him popping up in the beginning of Anchorman, The Legend Continues.
Yeah.
It's like, your ass is like the Loch Ness Monster. It's mysterious. Quote from Drake. I was honestly, yet again, I was distracted by the music video because he literally tried to find as many talented, attractive women in like music and film and television and sports. And yes, there was a lot of very attractive women, from like Rashida Jones to Issa Rae to Misty Copeland and Olivia Wilde and Tracy Ellis Ross. So like this one felt like nice, easy listen. And yeah, I listen to Nickelback, so I'm not going to criticize anybody else for just listening to easy to digest music.
Mm-hmm. There's no shame in it. There's literally no shame.
People would say the same about AC/DC, and I would fight you. But anyway, that is Matt's hip hop playlist here for the latest episode of my playlist. Matt, thank you for listening to some music with me and chatting some hip hop.
Definitely. We got to do like a part 2. I got to do my angry rock list next. Also, I want to do other categories of rap too that I didn't get to. And yeah.
As long as we could talk about WAP.
I don't know if WAP's gonna be on there for my list.
Why don't we have whores in our house?
I'm also bad.
You should look up the Beavis and Butthead clip of them commentating on WAP. It was fantastic. But this was another great episode of my playlist here on the Wasteland Talks talk show. But thank you, as always, for always tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.